So really quick, as we get started, the Hulls just jumped on, so I don't know if you guys are live or not, but congrats again on going silver.
Yes.
That's awesome. Deborah's team is exploding. Woo, woo, woo. We were talking about your team on the way to church tonight, Deborah, and we were like, man, she's really got some runners with her that are growing the business. So just to reemphasize what you have, it's pretty exciting when you get 2 or 3 people that are going after it, that really want to grow a business. I mean, we didn't have that until, really like senior gold until we had more than
as many as she has.
As many as you have.
Wow.
even beyond senior gold, to be honest with you, it was like me, Julie, and a couple
Aaron's
team, and then maybe whatever. So you got things going. Just keep going wide. Keep bringing in the new ambassadors wide as you were building the depth. So, anyways, I'm just going to get started on a couple things to recap for this promo that we got going on right now. So our goal is to hit 100 people for the month, and it's still totally attainable. We got a lot of month left, and right now we are at 19 people so far as a team for our whole team. So that's exciting. So it means we got 81 people to go. Now once we hit 25 people, which should be here within the next few days, we are going to do a drawing for $25.
Hey!
And at 50 people, we are going to, everyone that registered someone is going to get their name in the drawing for a bag of Slim. So that's pretty exciting. Free bag of Slim. And then I'll let you say the $75 and the $100 one because
you can't say a handbag.
I don't know what kind of handbag it is.
It's not designer. They're just cute. I don't remember what.
It's not a trash bag, so that's good.
So it's 75 new ambassadors. Then we will draw a name for a handbag. What is this? I should do a designer handbag. That would be really fun. Maybe next month. Maybe that'll be part of like the Emerald Run we'll do.
Denny wants a handbag.
I don't know about purses like at all, so I'm gonna need some help. All right, and then when we reach 100 people, we are gonna give away Kendra Scott earrings, which I think they're so cute.
I do too. I think they're marvelous.
But if you don't want pink, you can pick a different color. Or if they're too big, you can go smaller. We'll do some options.
So I really believe that kind of with where we're at tonight and where we're going to go, that getting to 81 more people by the end of the month is totally attainable. Yeah. And just a little preface into what Chris will be sharing is the Pauls went from, on a consistent basis, had 100 people registering, 100 people in their team for many months, and then all of a sudden they implemented this one little thing that Chris is going to share tonight. And they went from 100 to 300 people per month that their team was sponsoring. So,
and then they had once they implemented it, they had 3 people go fast start gold. They had someone double rank Ruby, senior Ruby
in the same month.
So it's just so fun because them hitting Emerald and Sapphire meant that there's so many that are really ranking right now and following right in that momentum. I don't know. It's just like. What's a good analogy? I don't know. It's just a wave. They've caught this wave, but their whole team's going on it with them. That's the best part.
Yeah, and I think our pastor said something tonight that kind of alluded to what we're going through, what we're experiencing as a Plexus team. He said, you can't control the timing, but you can control the place. And so, all we can do, there's 2 things that all of us can control as business owners. And it's our attitude and our work ethic. That's the same thing I tell my boys all the time. I said, there's 2 things that you can always control. You can control your attitude, what you think about, what you're putting into your brain, what you're reading, what you're meditating on, the scripture you're feeding yourself, and you can control your work ethic, in terms of, how you're going to build a business. And I know, one of the things that really challenged me on Friday night was Amy Paul was talking about her daily checklist of things to do and to build a successful business. And one of the things she shared was that she said, don't go surfing on Facebook until you do your daily activities, which for me, that was like, I can get caught up just, doing, just searching Facebook and
in the name of relationship building.
Yeah. And, or laughing at Denny's posts or whatever. And so, it's important obviously to do that. And that's one of the things Deborah's going to chat about. So there's this healthy balance, but also, she says that, go get your IPAs done, your income producing activities done right away, so that then you have the rest of the day if you want to scroll Facebook and do whatever. So that was a really powerful thing that she said that just kind of impacted me personally from the night. So I'm going to hand it off to Krista, and then we'll have Deborah kind of wrap it up if that's cool. So that was my takeaway from Friday. Why don't you start sharing what was impacting for you?
A lot of it was, she's a powerhouse. She is so cute and petite, and like her feet are so tiny in these little boots that were so cute. But she is a powerhouse. She does not mess around. All right, but the one thing I do want to talk about, two things. We're talking about three things. Two things. Being intentional. It's really easy just to think like you're building the business because you're posting every day and whatever. But as your team grows, you want to be more and more strategic and intentional, and it makes a huge difference. You can say, I want to go gold, I want to go senior gold, or I want to go ruby. But it's another thing to draw it out, to look at your current team, to look at last month and see where you were at, and then really strategize what next month is going to look like, and how many people would you have to add this month to hit your goal the following month. And one thing that was really cool is we sat down with Amy, and here she is a cross line. She's not our upline in any way. Like, we are on totally different teams. But they had breakfast over here. We were sitting at the table, and she's like, okay, so we're going to get you guys enrolled next month, right? So where are you guys at? Where did you end up last month? How many people are actually runners? How many people are you adding every month? And she grabs my whiteboard, she grabs a marker, and she's like drawing it out for me, and was looking at kind of how the months have been leading up to it. She said, all right, you need to add 100 people to your team this month, and you can go emerald next month. I was like, okay, perfect, because that's our goal. That's awesome. We did it. High five. We figured out a goal. But it helps a lot. And so I've been gradually working through our team, drawing this out. If you haven't gotten this in a message, you'll get it soon. But it'll look something like this in a picture form. And I want you to do the same thing. I want you to write down last month's PV, last month's points, and then write a goal for this month. What's your PV goal for this month? What's your points goal for this month? Then down your board, write down, you can look at last month's detailed genealogy, write down all of the names of people who did 100 PV or who were a green line. They were brand new and they got a welcome pack. Write all of their names, and then you'll be able to see how many you have left before reaching your goal. So maybe you have 17 names and you have 3 more blanks to hit 20 people for going gold. And then give yourself a cushion of 3 to 5 people. It helps to have it drawn out. At least for me, I love checklists. I love visibly seeing something right behind this computer screen. Right here is a big whiteboard with our goal for Emerald on May 28th, because I'm not going to stay up till midnight on May 31st. That's why it says that. You know why? Josiah was wondering why. I put May 28th. That's my goal, is to hit it a few days early. And I have a few things that I want to do in the next week. And I have a list of 1 through 10 to beat Chad in our little contest between the two of us. But no, I'm winning. I will win. He's winning right now. But you want to have something concrete and in front of you, because then you're intentionally working it, which we'll go into here as well. But you're also, it's not just looking for, say you have 3 blanks. It's not just that you need to go get those 3. We want to strategically look at who on your team can you help to reach their goal. And in so doing that, your goal will take care of itself. It will always work that way. It's very easy, especially when you're going gold and even senior gold. Your team's small enough that you can tell if someone turns their backup order off. You can tell if 1 or 2 people stop ordering because your team's small enough, and so it kind of hurts. As you get larger, you're so busy working with those who want your time, you don't notice that as much. If that's encouragement to you at all. But the more you can be looking at your team with, okay, so-and-so is has 2 people. She's so close to silver, and you're messaging her and you're getting her to silver. The more you're looking at how you can help that team grow or help a brand new person make their first post and just ignore your points, that the points will so take care of themselves. So what Chad was saying, Amy, Paul, they went from adding 100 new people a month every month consecutively to all of a sudden adding 300 people a month. And what they started doing was utilizing this Zoom that we're doing right now. She, when we first talked to her about this, actually was doing it in everyone's homes because most of her team was in Hawaii. And so she would meet with a brand new ambassador, say a level 1 sponsored somebody, she'd go to the home and she'd meet that new level 1 and then say, okay, now who can you get to your house? And then in a couple of days, that person would then have 3 people. And then those 3 people should say, okay, now let's schedule it into our calendar. And each of you have 3 people. And she would keep doing that. Her team has expanded and they do a lot of the same thing over Zoom. And it's been super effective. So there's 2 different ways that they might do it. Maybe one of her level 1 sponsors somebody. And they would say, okay, part of our next step now that you just got started is I can't wait for you to meet Amy. And they would do a Zoom of the 3 of them. And Chad and I were just talking about how effective that is, especially if they know you very well. They don't know you as the Plexus guru yet. And so they're going to be more likely to listen to your upline. Even though your upline is telling them exactly what you would tell them, it's going to come differently to them. And Amy said the same thing. When she would say to this new person, hey, can you get 3 people on one of these Zooms? They're like, oh, yeah, of course I can. However, if the one who sponsored them asked them to do the same thing, they may have been like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. So there's just a different, what's the word?
It's just a posture,
Posture.
And through edification, I mean, you can really, it's not false edification. If you can, empower someone else, that just gives them the platform to speak into other people's lives. But if you just say, hey, I don't know, Krista might be able to do something. I don't know. I mean, obviously the tone and what the seeds that you're sowing out of your mouth about the person that you're edifying is a huge deal. So if you can say, like Krista was saying, hey, Aunt Jemima, hey, can you jump on a quick call to hear a little bit about this new Plexus business that I'm starting. I just want to have you hear the products. And Krista, she's a pro. She's been doing this for a while. She's got a huge business. And, I'd really love for her to meet you. That kind of just sets the tone for that person. Oh, okay. I know you don't know a lot about health, but maybe Krista does, so I'll listen to Krista. Does that make sense? It's not taking anything away from you or anyone else. It's just using your tools effectively, which would be your upline. So if you don't have Zoom, I believe you can get a trial for free. But
and Plexus has a discount too.
Yeah, and Plexus is running a discount as well right now. So it's like, I think it's like $15. It's tax deductible. So I encourage you to sign on for it if you haven't already. But go ahead.
Yeah, I know it's happening through her Zooms as well, but it was happening where all 3 people would sign up right after the meeting, whether it was through the Zoom, but especially when it was in person, they would just go right to the computer and just sign up right there. And then duplicating it. So you're breaking silvers very quickly. And for someone to hit silver and be earning a few $100s or more their first month, that's huge. I know for me, that's what locked me in. I did not sign up to have a business. I did not sign up thinking I could go diamond, thinking I could go emerald or have a Lexus, nothing. But I didn't even go silver my first month. But I made a lot of money. And then the next month, for it to quadruple, your belief grows very quickly. So the more effective we can be at helping a new person get started the right way, I think that's something that we all can improve on. And keeping our attention focused on them and helping them reach silver, helping them do 500 PV and see a good check come in can be life-changing. Extra $500 for a lot of people, it's a big deal. For our family, that was a huge deal to have an extra coming in.
So we just to kind of go over this again. So the goal for right now, Krista or myself will be available to do the Zooms. And then as you get your own Zoom account, our goal isn't to be the Zoom masters and do these accounts 1,000 times a day. We want to empower you guys to do them because you guys are leaders. Everyone that's on this call could do a Zoom. And so, so the goal is to one, we want to meet the new people that you're getting started, so we can say, so let's just say Denny, what was his name? The guy that just got started, Robert? No, this is.
Oh, they're muted.
You're muted. So sign language. Use sign language. Okay, gotcha. So Billy Bob. So Denny says, "Hey, Billy Bob." Say Aunt Jemima and Billy Bob. They're going to town in Plexus. So hey, Billy Bob. Say, I really want to introduce you to Chad and Krista or Deborah, or whoever. If Deborah's getting her Zoom set up, then it would be Deborah or us. Either way, whoever's available. Because we're all kind of in this together, helping you guys grow your business. So hey, I want to introduce you to Chad and Krista. Just to say a quick hello. They want to get a chance to introduce themselves in
20 minutes is all it should take.
Max. Really 10 to 20 minutes max. Do you have a few minutes available? I wouldn't even say a time limit. I would say, hey, do you have a few minutes for Chad or Krista to meet you? We jump on the line with Billy Bob. Say, hey, Billy Bob, you chose the best team. We're so excited for you to be in business with them, edifying you, making sure that they understand they made a good decision. Because some people get buyer's remorse within even the first week. They're also, oh, what'd I do? But so just re-emphasizing, hey, great decision. And then, hey, Billy Bob, say, do you know just a few people, 3 to 5 max, that you could have jump on the Zoom like this in the next week or so, and we can teach you how to get your products for free? You could do that, right? Oh yeah, sure, I can do that. Okay, great. So I'm gonna Facebook you the Zoom link. Let's do it for this, and we want to do it as soon as possible. So let's just, this Saturday we're going to do it at whatever 10 a.m. Here's the Zoom link. Invite them out there, whether it's 1 or 5. We're going to go for it, and then on that call, that Zoom call, it's going to be no longer than 20 minutes. We're going to cover the Fab Four, so the triplex and X Factor. And if you're not on those 4, I just encourage you to be on those 4. Those are like the top 4 products that we have. And then we're going to go through the Fab Four, our testimony, Krista, our testimony, and then just encourage them to get started in the business side of things. And that's it. And so it's really short and sweet. And then say, no, here's their link, and here's the Hall's link. Go ahead and get registered, and then boom, then we're going to do the same thing with those people that just got started. And it just goes on and on. So let's just take a 5-second time out. And does anyone have any questions on that, kind of the intentions of what we're trying to do or how we're trying to do it? And if you do, go ahead and unmute yourself. You can unmute. If you
don't know how to, we can unmute from here, right?
Or you can post a question in chat if you'd rather type it. Okay, so that makes it's clear as mud or clear as water? Yes, sir. Okay, good. So that's really, we haven't, this Zoom call tonight, this represents, over 350 of us that are on the same team. So we really want to duplicate this throughout our teams and have you guys teach your team, because we really believe that this could be one tool, not the tool, because, there's not a silver bullet in Plexus, and we're not going to get religious about saying, okay, every time it's got to be just like this. But this is a tool that's working really well, and so we want to ride that wave, like Krista said, and use the tool. And so these little Zoom calls are going to be great. And I think, all of you guys would do phenomenal on them. I really believe that. So
it helps solidify relationships too. I know when I went to convention, it was my first time to meet Lori and Jetty. That did something for me because it built that relationship, and I didn't have it with them before that. So this gives an opportunity, since so many of us are spread out everywhere and we haven't met everyone in person. It goes beyond just the, hey, welcome to the team. You have no clue who we are, right. But we really care about you and we want to help you. But they don't know that. They may not even know we are even in their upline. So it gives a chance for that relationship to build and to grow right from the very beginning, for them to know that they have a whole team of support behind them. And you never know who's going to connect with who. It's kind of fun seeing that happen. But to make that connection, that way you aren't feeling that the work's all dependent on you, and that we can all go about this as a team and help each other out. I think the relationships are key.
Yep.
I know it's life changing. I can't wait for you guys to meet them in person.
Yeah. Anything else that you had on yours? All right, cool. So, those are the main things that we want to share with you guys, and I just encourage you guys to go back. Even it's not too late. Like, go back. Anyone that you registered this month, let's just go back to those people and say, hey, even if they just got in to be a wholesale ambassador just to buy the product, you just never know what one little conversation could say that all of a sudden flips their switch, and they're like, maybe I could get my product for free if I just bring a few people on a Zoom call, and all of a sudden, boom, they get hooked. That's what happened with us. So anyways, just really encourage you guys. Let's kind of, that'll be our mantra that we're going to be talking about for a while. But I'm so excited to hear Deborah chat a little bit. Deborah has been such an amazing team player.
Yeah.
And if you see her right now in her video, this is how I picture Deborah every time I think of Deborah. She's just got this great smile. She's always happy. I'll never forget the first time I met her was one of our first meeting that we ever had.
We didn't know what we were doing.
We did not know what we were doing
at all.
Yeah, and at her house, it was so. And she just happened to be in town on the day that we had the meeting with her sisters. And so it was so cool to have you there. And then all of a sudden, within a couple months or so, you got started as an ambassador. Or I don't know exactly the timeline, but so it's been a huge blessing to have you on the team. You have brought an enormous amount of credibility and some great people on the team. And so we're just excited that there's a couple things I mentioned for her that I see out of her. One being that she's an amazing team player. Just share that a little bit, but then whatever God put on her heart to share for tonight for the rest of the team and for the people that are going to see this tomorrow, etc. So go for it, girl.
Okay. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, actually, it was last March when I was at your house, and I went with my sister, and it's funny because when we went to the party, her goal was to find out if she was actually an ambassador or not, because she didn't know if she was a customer or an ambassador, and she didn't even know what ambassador meant, but she was an ambassador. So funny.
That's funny.
It wasn't until July then that I joined. And so I wanted to get us the products. I wanted to get them at a lower price. And so I thought, well, let's do this. Let's join. And then I actually got my first customer before I joined, because I told my husband, I'm going to try to get a customer before we join, and then it'll be cheaper. So it'll offset our cost. So it actually worked out. I said, hold on a minute, I'll send you my website. And then I joined, and then I sent her the website. So how it works out.
Love it.
Well, I just want thanks to Chad and Krista for being great leaders, to my sister Rebecca for getting me started, and to my team. I love you guys, and I'm so excited every time I think about the future we have. So we're going to talk about the sip and sees that I had with Lane, and we've had 2 so far. So the first one went really well. So she said the next week, can we have another one? So she was a real go-getter with inviting people. She did a really great job. And she reached out to like 25 people to invite them. And she expected 10. And then 4 actually showed up to each time. Only 4 showed up. And so she was disappointed at first, but we found out small is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It really does give you the opportunity to talk more one-on-one with people, look at them in the eyes, and kind of get more of a feel. I figure if there's a lot of people, people might start talking to each other and different things. And so you really got their attention better like that. And she had really good results with that. So like, out of those 4 people, 2, I don't know if they did order yet, but we're planning to order, and 2 are really interested in joining the team. So that's really good out of 4 people.
Yeah, that's good.
And I wanted to say, like, when you do the sip and sees, it's good to just be flexible, because a couple people came in like 30 minutes late, and so instead of getting aggravated at that, just kind of chime them on in, and uh, catch up with them. It's totally worth it to not like make them feel uncomfortable for being late. It's better they came at all. So what I found the best was talk about the products first, intro to the products, give everybody a pink drink. And then as I was talking, I tried to kind of feel people out, like if they seemed like they would be interested in the business of it. And so then I saved that for the end. Even like a couple people already left, there was in a hurry, and other ones stayed behind that wanted to hear more about it. So that gave us some more opportunity to talk about money. That's what people want to know. How much money can you make? So what are the benefits? And I love talking about it, and it gets me excited. And so I wanted them to, see that it really is a good thing. I know people often feel like they're getting tricked into something. And so to really like hear my personal story, and just be really open about it. I'll tell you anything you want to know about the business. So, yeah, and they're really good. I think from her first sip and see, she gained 5 new customers.
Wow.
So yeah, really good.
Good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Let me check my notes. And so then the other thing that the Dearies asked me to mention was supporting each other with your Plexus posts. And so we already do. Everybody does such a great job at jumping on each other's posts and commenting with something. And I think that's so valuable. And when you have a post that's really important to you, to be able to ask the team to comment on it and like it and boost that post. And it really does work. Whenever you have a post that's getting a lot of activity, it's bumping it right up to the top of Facebook, and everybody's seeing it over and over and over until they just hide it. They just got to go up there and hide it. Good, you want them to have to hide it. And it's kind of funny because our pastor told my husband, he said, the more your wife grows in her business, the more friends that I'm having to like hide on Facebook. I don't want to see what's going on. I was like, well, that's really nice of him, but hey, even he's noticing.
Oh my goodness.
I love the support that we have. I don't know that other teams are like our team. I don't know that, they all do this. And so I appreciate it so much. It's such a blessing to have that kind of support from each other. And yeah.
Cool. So
Awesome.
One of the things that I love about when Deborah makes a comment, I feel like she like prays or something before she makes a comment, because it's not just like, I can get so like robotic and routine that I'm just like, awesome, cool, whatever. And I'm gone and trying to hit the next post. But Deborah's taught me something that I'm, when I see your post and I see like, a post that I know that you've invested time to write up, I've taken a moment just to pray and just like, Lord, is there anything that I can say underneath her post that may affect someone else coming to see her post? And that's been a change that I'm trying to implement, just on commenting on other people's posts, because I think, Deborah, you are right that this culture that we're building, I mean, there's an awesome culture in Plexus, but our team, and I just love that you guys are bouncing back and forth and doing that. So important, because, if you have this random post out there and no one's saying anything, just crickets, then it's like, well, maybe no one wants to say anything. But if we can just get the momentum going, then all of a sudden people get interested. So.
Yeah, and it seems like it's good if you kind of, when you're commenting, like think about their friends going to read it. And so, I don't know, I'm not the best or anything, but just to think about mentioning that you're putting an order in. They don't know you, so like I don't want to be like too obvious, like act like I'm their customer or anything like that, but just kind of be a little bit vague, like, oh, I'm putting my order in, you know. I have some extra stuff to my order this time, excited to try it, you know. So just kind of piquing curiosity of their friends is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Lane did she did a trial, 3-day trial giveaway, and she had like over 50 comments, like 55 comments of people that entered into the drawing. I mean, that's a huge amount of people to follow up with. I mean, that's like 50 new potential customers or ambassadors. And then what she did was really good. She said, and if you share this this post, I'll give you an extra drawing. So she had 28 shares or something like that on her drawing. So she had 50 people commenting, 28 shares. I mean, that's massive. And so these 3-day contest, sample contests, they're working. They worked for Krista and I, and
they're especially effective in the beginning when your entire Facebook friends list is your warm market, is that what you call it? When it's still new to all of them. And there comes a point where you can tell, all right, I've pretty much maxed out a lot of my Facebook friends of the ones that you have. You still are going to have a lot watching you, but in the beginning, those free, we call them free Friday giveaways. Those are fun. They don't have to be every Friday. They can be once a month. But those are good to kind of get a feel of your audience and who's interested. Did you have some chat questions?
So Rebecca, in terms of what to cover on the Zooms, so again, we would just, I would just, so if you were doing it for, let's just say you were doing it for, Deb and Kay, okay, I would go through the Fab Four. I would cover your testimony, and then I would cover just slightly on how they can get the products paid for, and that's it. So it's like 10 to 20 minutes max, and that's it. You know, Amy said that she kind of, just like Deborah had mentioned on the Sip and Sees, similar to the Sip and Sees, is that you just kind of feel people out who's on the call. So whoever's on the Zoom, that's kind of, you might change gears a little bit. If someone asks a question, you might dive in that direction for a little bit. Just being a little bit of being flexible.
And then if it's a Zoom that you're doing for a new level 1 and you want to have them meet your upline, or if we're not your upline, you want to do it with, if you're welcome to do it with us. If you're not a level 1 to us, we are still available for that. But in something like that, they get to know who we are, we get to know who they are and what their goals are. Do they sign up as a wholesale customer, or do they desire to earn an income? And what kind of income? Is it just $500 a month, or is it more? And talk about their first post and what that would look like. What happens if you make a post and you have likes and comments, and what would be involved in starting their business, taking their products, answering questions, similar to some of these 3-way calls that we've done. And this is just another vehicle. So if someone's not quite ready for Zoom, which, hey, I probably would have been one of those not quite ready for Zoom. It was a long time before I would even turn my video on for Lori's Zoom trainings. My first time turning on the videos when she asked me to speak on it, it terrified me. So not everyone maybe even familiar with what Zoom is. And so then a 3-way call is a good route, or if you're local, meeting up for coffee or something. And this is just another tool on your tool belt.
Yep. So you got the 2 Zooms, the one with the new person, and then the second Zoom would be with their potentials. So just to be clear.
Yep.
All right, cool. Hey, Jenna, I know did you just start eating? See you.
You call her out.
No, I was going to ask you to say something, and then all of a sudden I saw that your mouth. Right, you get okay.
I'm really pregnant, so eating is like a kind of an all the time.
Yeah, I got you.
Right now,
so Jenna did an awesome job on Friday night, and just really quick, what are 1 or 2 things that stood out for you from the Pauls at the meeting? What did you like about it? What inspired you, or whatever?
Well, goodness, just one thing. I think I really enjoyed how she talked about how personal she is, especially on the Zoom calls, and how personal is, and she is when she talks to everyone. Like when someone had asked a question about like, do you follow a script or do you follow like a, some kind of thing? I liked her answer, and she said no, because every Zoom call or every conversation you have with someone's going to be different, because they have different needs, they have different desires, what they want from the business or the product. So I just thought it was really great that she talked about just being personal with everything.
Yeah. You did awesome. It was awesome.
Thank you.
The setup was amazing. I didn't even think, man, I was so clouded in my head. I said, Jenna, will you work on the table setup? And then I didn't even give you a picture of what to do. And you came in and you just nailed it. It looked amazing. So fantastic.
You.
And what's that?
Saying what Rebecca got out of it too.
Okay. How about Rebecca? Rebecca, are you able to talk? Are you driving or what? Well,
she's gone.
She's gone. She did not want.
I'm not God. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so what?
No, Lewis is driving, but my reception's might go in and out. So you guys are breaking up a little bit. So I don't know if you can hear me good.
We hear you good.
Okay, good.
Any takeaway? One or two takeaways?
Well, one thing I mentioned to Krista, I said number one was just like how it reiterated the whole culture of this, how everything's we're one family, even though we're not all on the same team, or we don't all benefit financially speaking from what everybody else does, but that doesn't really matter, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Even just kind of how it is in our team, but on a bigger scale. And then also the second thing was just how Amy was and how she spoke. It kind of encourages everybody else to just really be bold, and kind of get out of that comfort zone. And I just really admired that about her.
Mm-hmm. She's spicy.
I know, yeah. Everybody can learn a thing or two from that feistiness. Loved it.
Anyone else that either the Ensleys or Angie, either you guys had anything?
And Mary was there too. Let's see.
Oh yeah, Mary, you were there too. If any of you guys had anything that kind of stood out that you want to share, great. If not, we'll wrap up.
And Amy's been, and there's many others too. I love that culture. It is not like that in other businesses. Chad and I know that firsthand, that you can have cross lines that would help you. But she's done Zooms with Chad and I and invited us onto her team page so we can learn how she was doing stuff and her trainings. And I love that.
Yeah.
Hey, Krista.
Yes, go.
Just with what you were saying, I won't say what company it was, but I had heard from somebody with another MLM that they weren't actually allowed to even have friends on Facebook that weren't on their team.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny how that works that way.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to give advice to people who weren't on our team. You're pretty careful on even hanging out with them. Kind of depended. But yeah, that's pretty common. But I love that Plexus has instituted this one Plexus, that this isn't a competition. We all cheer each other on and we all help each other. The culture that you can share each other's testimonies, and you could look up a random person, you don't even know them, you don't have to ask to share it, you don't have to friend request them. I like that.
That's
I
cool.
like it a lot. Very unique in the network marketing world.
Cool. Well, that is it's 9:45 already, so we just appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We really do. And every time we get an opportunity to jump on the phone with you or see your name pop up in Facebook, it's so cool, so amazing. And Deborah, thank you so much for sharing. You're such a great team player and such a blessing. I know so many people, even on this call, have been blessed by your comments on their posts, and we just appreciate that, because that's just something that comes natural to you, and it's something that I feel is that we could all do a better job at. So I'm just going to pray and then we'll wrap it up. Father God, we just love you. We thank you, Lord, for this awesome team. I just thank you, Lord, for your presence here tonight, that your presence just carries us through, and that there's just a spirit of gratitude and humbleness on this team. And I'm just so thankful for everyone that has invested their time and energy tonight. I know they could be doing 1,000 other things. And I thank you, Father God, for all the people that are going to listen to the message tomorrow and we just pray that even one little thing would impact them to move the ball down the field, that they'd be able to build their business with a little bit more tenacity and just step up and have the confidence. And just thank you, Lord, for the grace that empowers us to do these things, whether it's a thought-provoking post, whether it's a funny post, whether it's a shared post, whether it's a video, Father God. We just ask you, Lord, that we really be intentional and that your hands will be upon it, that you'll breathe life into it, Father God. We just thank you, Lord, that you can use all things. You can use fun things, silly things, serious things, and things with our kids. And we just know that, Lord, that this has been such a tool and vehicle to help our health, help our marriage, and we just are so excited to share that with other people. So I pray for all the marriages that are represented here tonight, especially on this call, that, Lord, that the husband and wives be in sync, and that you just give them one vision that you've planted in their heart so they can run with it. Just ask you, Lord, to bless this week coming up, Monday through Saturday, and that we just have an amazing week. And we ask you, Lord, in advance, Lord, that the numbers that we're shooting for as a team, another 80 people this month, we just ask you, Lord, and come boldly and ask you, Lord, for those people to show up. We know that there's 80 people out there that need these products. And we know that there's 80 people out there that need financial benefit in their family. And so we just ask you, Lord, to put those people on our hearts, to give us the boldness to reach out to them. And right now, we just thank you in advance for those people that you draw into this team, to this amazing team. We just thank you in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. All right. Just going to double check any more chats. Okay. Well, we really appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming. And we will chat with you on Facebook World. See you guys.